Hello? Hello? Do you know that feeling before you wake up when you have a choice to open your eyes or stay dreaming? What is it that motivates you to open your eyes? Moving and being physical was not something new for me. I remember hugging my parents and smiling as I turned to walk onto the gateway to fly to São Paulo, Brazil. I knew I wouldn't see my family for at least a year, but I wasn't afraid. I felt an excitement. Sometimes childhood makes you brave. That year changed the trajectory of my life. I became a capoeirista. I danced forró, axé, and samba. This curiosity is one of the motivations for opening my eyes. Upon returning to the United States, capoeira and dance became the bridge to my new identity, nurturing my language and expression. I continued to go out dancing every weekend, playing choreography games in the local bars. As for capoeira, I trained daily, suffering from blisters, bruises, and mental insecurities. In the roda, there is no hiding. You are vulnerable. The roda guides you to explore your strengths, and your weaknesses are on display for your community. Sometimes the response is not always gentle. I learned the hard way, but the black eyes healed quickly. The transnational exploration of capoeira became a base for my personal development and survival. At the time, I wasn't aware of the profound influence of salsa and capoeira in my life. There was a time in my life when I forced my eyes closed to stay in the dream state. I stopped moving. I compromised my body. That was a dark time. The colorful life I had experienced was fading. The sounds of the street became faint. The walls of my room were controlled. I was afraid to make the door of my bedroom squeak, let alone listen to salsa music. When I was alone, I used to watch Rueda videos to remind myself of the feeling I used to have when I would dance. I remember dreaming of dancing. I remember the feeling of flying, the freedom of movement, the happiness of sharing the energy of music with other people who could understand the spiritual significance of movement, as well as the beauty of the strength of femininity. At 25, I returned to capoeira. My body was swollen with pain. I had gained 50 pounds and my fluidity suffered. I was embarrassed for leaving the roda for so long. I returned daily to transform my pain into strength. I remembered finding beauty in the inertia of the jumps and the pulse of the berimbau. My capoeira sisters asked me to teach them samba, and when I returned home, I would try to hide my growing vibrance in an attempt to secure the possibilities for returning the next day. And on my 26th birthday, I started the day with capoeira. My body was soaked with sweat. There was no way I could hold in the story. The movements of the orishas taught me to face what was uncomfortable, and I began to let go. I wanted to run the other way, but I knew that I had to stay. Yemanya embraced me in the ocean, where I swam like a mermaid, twirling around in the water, diving deep, feeling the water rush against my skin. I prayed. That night, I played to everyone in this small studio in the middle of the city. The music rang through the streets. I felt like I wanted to get as close to the drums as I possibly could. I wanted to become the drum. I wanted the vibrations to surround my body, to give me the axé to be brave, honest, and show courage. The children did handstands, and we sang in thanks for another year of life. I will never forget that night. I returned to darkness, the stillness of the silence of my reality in the United States. I dreamt of capoeira. One morning, my husband asked me when I would teach him Portuguese. I was shocked and excited. And then I realized that the only reason he was asking was because I had been singing as I slept, which had kept him up all night. At 27, one of my mestres gave me the name Nunca Para because of the amount of energy I had while attending a bachizado in California. It had taken so much energy to attend the event. I fought with my husband for weeks as he proclaimed that I had been cursed by the voodoo of capoeira. Capoeira is a space in which women can share their feminine strength and resiliency, and being a warrior is celebrated and nurtured. Becoming a powerful woman is thought of as beautiful. Every morning, I wake up to music because it reminds me of solidarity. It helps me ground myself in my body. Instead of attempting to keep my eyes closed and escape my physical presence, I play music. There are others who understand the power of music and dance not only as something that superficially relieves stress. Dancing is a transformational interaction with energy that can be shared across borders, languages, ages, race, and class. Movement is what grounds me in my identity and community in a way that is not based on material goods. Salsa, capoeira, bachata, and hip-hop are based on interaction with community and the demonstration of vulnerability, perception, and growth. This is one of the reasons I open my eyes